A very good morning and warm welcome to the podcast on Insurance Careers Unplugged. Before we deep dive into the nitty-gritties of this session, I, Dr. Pallavi Seth, Associate Professor at IILM University, Greater Noida, take this opportunity to introduce today's guest, Mr. Pankaj Tomar.
Thank you.
Mr. Pankaj Tomar, he is head of India and Southeast Asia, AXA Climate, is a leading professional in climate risk sustainability and insurance with over 22 years of industry experience. He currently heads AXA Climate in India and Southeast Asia, where he works on innovative solutions such as parametric insurance, climate adaptation, and disaster risk management. Having worked with global organizations like AXA, Hanover Re, Marsh India, Tata AIG, and ICICI Lombard, he brings real-world insights into how finance and insurance plays a critical role in managing climate risk. This podcast is focused to offer students a valuable opportunity to understand emerging risks and careers at the intersection of sustainability, finance, and risk management. Welcome at IILM University.
Thank you, Pallavi. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you, sir. For most students, insurance is either misunderstood or underestimated as a career. Even when I speak to some learned people in their field, they also understand that insurance is just about selling policies. And that is the reason they don't want their son or daughter to go into this career. Today, we will try to change this perception. This episode explores how insurance careers in India have evolved post-liberalization, how global capital and technology are reshaping the industry, and why insurance today is less about policies and more about problem solving across sectors. So my first question to you would be, sir, when management students hear insurance as a career option, what's according to you the first thing that would come to their minds?
Great question to start our conversation. And in my limited experience of talking to different management graduates, I think few things come to their mind when they hear this word called insurance. First is someone is selling an insurance policy door to door. That's the first obvious picture comes to anyone's mind. Second is that they imagine a thick document which no one would want to read. And probably the last one is that they imagine a phone call which all of us would avoid to pick up. So I guess these are the three things typically come to anyone's mind when they think about insurance as a career. But I must say that these are all myths. And in fact, when you assume that insurance is all about selling, it is basically because selling is the most visible face of insurance. You only get to see people who are selling insurance. You don't get to see people who are behind the scene doing many other things, which is beyond selling. So that's probably the answer of your very, very interesting question.
Thank you, sir. Actually, we have seen that, insurance industry got liberalized in 2000, in the year 2000. And we have seen privatization in that sector. And also over the last 2 decades, insurance industry has evolved with so many, FDI coming into the industry, and then post-liberalization, so many private companies coming into industry. So technology, data, and customer expectations have also reshaped that is the insurance industry in a big way. Yeah. Many roles that exist today simply didn't exist earlier.
Of course.
If a student had joined the industry 20 years ago versus today, how different would their career look like?
Okay, so prior to liberalization, which was the story before 2000, in fact, the insurance sector was state-owned. So there was limited competition. For the customers also, there was the choices were limited because there were only a handful of state-owned insurance companies operating in that state. And because of that, the insurance products were also limited. The processes and the products were more indigenous in nature. What changed after 2000 when the industry got liberalized is that private sector players started to come in. Global insurance players came in and they started joint ventures with Indian insurance companies. As a result of which, we started to see global processes coming in. We witnessed the global insurance products coming in, and insurance, which was most like a service prior to 2000, became a full-fledged competitive world. And that created a huge shift the way careers have also changed. So before liberalization, insurance career was very, very dependable. very stable, but at the same time very predictable also, because it was not as fast paced as it is in today's world. And so this change after liberalization opened up a gamut of opportunities for people. So if I, let's say, compare the careers and how they have evolved in last 20 years. So when I started my journey in insurance way back, which is now more than 2 decades. So in those times, the careers in insurance were very watertight. So there used to be verticals like you can either be in sales, or you can be in underwriting, or you can be in claims. So like that, we were assigned any one particular vertical. The processes were pretty much manual in nature, because the kind of technological advancement which you have seen in last 2 decades was not there when the industry got liberalized. So because of which it impacted the sector in a big way. So we used to do underwriting using a lot of paperwork. The claim settlement used to take a lot of time. But as we have witnessed the technology to take over the sector, the job profiles have also changed drastically. So now there are not only 4 verticals like claims, underwriting, or sales. Now you have let's say, I'll quote some examples. You have a product manager who's working on new products, because today, and just to quote one example, if let's say today the real problem is cloud outages. So you want an insurance product for the businesses to compensate them if there is a cloud outage today. So there are product managers who are working on new products which are primarily emanating from new and emerging risks. Then you have technology people who are setting up the systems in such a way that claims are settled within hours and days. So you will have business analysts working in those domains. You'll have people from finance who are working on alternate risk transfer techniques like reinsurance. So today, what you see is completely different than what I saw 20 years back. So today, careers have taken a huge shift because of the foreign players coming in, because of the foreign products coming in, and the way technology is shaping up the entire sector.
Absolutely. Like you correctly mentioned about foreign players. So we have seen, starting with liberalization, around 24% FDI. And now we are actually talking about 100% FDI in insurance sector. So my next question to you is about, with the move towards 100% FDI, the insurance industry is entering another transformation phase. Beyond capital, this change has major implications for talent and global exposure. Why it's an important phase for those planning career in insurance?
So it's a very, very important phase, because when you say 100% FDI or foreign players bringing in capital, they don't just bring in capital to your country. They bring in the global processes. They bring in global products. And at the same time, they open the canvas of job profiles. So your job mobility also increases. So with the foreign capital coming in, the management graduates who are, let's say, completing their course this year or in the coming years, this is an inflection point for them to get in this particular industry. Because with 100% FDI, India is no longer going to be just a large insurance market. It is going to be a large insurance talent pool, where fungibility of resources will be very common. So people will be moving from one country to another, and India is expected to be the hub of the insurance global talent for insurance. So it is a super good point for students who wish to start their journey now in insurance.
Great. So, what happens that many students assume that insurance career means only working with insurance company. Like you were saying that, with coming FDI in insurance sector, many people will be able to move to another countries. Even being in India, they'll be working for different foreign companies. So many people, even as first job of mine after my campus placement, I was working with HCL. So HCL Technologies in their KPO services. So I went to London to do the transition of insurance process. When I tell my student that okay, you can go and work in some other sectors, not only insurance companies.
Of course.
So what is your take on that?
So insurance, according to me, is not a place to work. Insurance is a skill. So students have to change the lens with which they see this particular sector. So like, for example, if let's say there is a bank. So bank will be concerned with the rising NPAs. So they would want someone to analyze the root cause of those NPAs and then find ways to protect that. If, let's say, I take an example of renewable energy companies, someone who has put up wind or solar power plants, they are concerned about weather now. So if there is not enough radiation, they will not be able to generate the power as they anticipated. Same is the case for wind. So they would need someone who can sort of do the due diligence of this, that how the weather can impact my businesses and how can we protect it. So I can name the industries and with their business problems, and it is only the insurance professionals now who are solving these very, very tough questions. So the core job of an insurance professional is to first find out what can go wrong, which is nothing but risk assessment. And they also answer the question that, okay, if this goes wrong, how do we protect it in terms of risk transfer? So from that standpoint, the insurance as a skill will not only sit in the insurance companies, it will be part of the many other industries. And that's the reason we'll see the people with insurance as a skill are sitting in a hospital also. You'll see people with insurance skill are sitting in the e-commerce companies also. You'll see people with insurance skill are sitting in the power plants also, with infrastructure companies also. So insurance, as I said, is not a place to work. It is just a skill and with which you can move from one industry to another.
Wow, that's really great. Because, otherwise people have been even, this is one of the another myth what people think is that insurance is about policy selling only. So like, you are telling so many different things. So if we talk about beyond policy selling, banking, healthcare, infrastructure, startups and renewable energy all rely heavily on insurance and responsibility like you just mentioned. Without it, many of these sectors couldn't even scale.
Sure.
So let's get specific. What are the known sales roles? Students may not even know that they are existing.
Okay, so let me begin with the start of a life cycle of an insurance, let's say, selling. So insurance is a business of dealing with uncertainties. So the first is that we should be able to identify the uncertainty in any particular business, and then we should be able to price that uncertainty in a right way. So that is the core job of an insurer. So today, the careers or the jobs in insurance world are created at the intersection of two skills, or sometimes more than two skills. Like, for example, I come with technology background. With insurance skill, I become a right fit for an insurtech company. I come from the legal background. With insurance skill, I become a right fit to design the policy wordings for my company. I come, let's say, from technical background. I am an engineer. With insurance skill, I become a good risk control engineer. So today, the jobs are creating at an intersection of two or more than two skills. So that's how these jobs are much beyond what you see as someone just selling the policy door to door. So I can quote many examples, but the core is that the skill of insurance, along with some other access, will create that intersection of a new profile or a new job within the industry.
Absolutely. I mean, to add to that, many of my students who were medical students earlier, they are working in insurance company as a medical underwriters, at claim assessors, right?
Yes.
So they are using their medical knowledge, whatever they have done, whatever they have achieved in their graduation, and with insurance skills, they are very well settled in the insurance companies.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, sir, we have actually all of us know resilience was the very important, actually the real word. Creating a whole buzz when we talk about COVID-19, right? So all of us have seen that phase, and thank God we all have gone through and actually come out of that. So we have seen crises like subprime crash, COVID, and global recessions. How has insurance as a profession held up in those times?
Look, since I have been part of this industry for more than 2 decades, so I have witnessed all the situations which you have talked about. The subprime crisis in 2008-9, and then pandemic happened. And then we see the impact of climate change, that the frequency and severity of cat events are also increasing.
Yes.
So while some other industries may shrink their businesses in those difficult times, but because insurance deals with uncertainty, it becomes even more relevant in those times. So in the times of subprime crisis or in the times of pandemic, we witness that insurance as an industry becomes even more relevant. So that's the reason I say that insurance as a sector is far more resilient compared to any other sector in these extreme times, be it a financial crisis or a pandemic. So I'm not saying that there are no challenges in insurance, but so challenges is, of course, in the time of COVID or in the time of subprime crisis, the corporates will basically shrink their insurance budgets. So it will impact naturally the insurance companies, but insurance companies themselves will not get impacted from these crises because their business is to basically deal with uncertainties. So if uncertainty is rising, the insurance becomes even more difficult. So in that sense, I would say that insurance as an industry is far more resilient than any other sector.
Absolutely. Even I would say, COVID-19, especially, I would say, actually acted as a blessing in disguise with respect to insurance awareness amongst the common people of country.
Yes.
Many people who actually thought that we'll be buying a life insurance, a health insurance, just waste of time, or they mostly bought it for Section 80C and others. So now they actually started buying themselves. Otherwise, people used to chase them to buy insurance, life, especially if I talk about retail policy of life and health insurance. People became more aware. Okay, all of us, think something will not happen to me, but to my neighbor. But now this is everybody was, getting affected, at least mentally.
Absolutely, and rightly mentioned. So all of us witnessed that during the COVID times, the insurance companies were overwhelmed with claims.
Yes.
So their claims department was like working round the clock. And so that's the reason I said that in these difficult times, insurance as an industry becomes even more relevant.
Even, sir, I do remember one of my friend who's even currently working with a MNC broker. She told me that even not only they help their clients with claims, but they also help them to arrange, oxygen cylinders and other things.
Simply.
They went out of their own limits, like only paying claims, but they actually help their clients in all these things. They try to level best.
Absolutely. There are many such stories you'll find.
Stories. They were actually working round the clock to help the clients with all these things.
Yes.
And that is how trust is built.
Absolutely.
Okay, sir. So coming towards the end of this conversation, what is your advice to students? Because, students are evaluating long-term careers. And insurance often goes unnoticed. There's the reason we are doing the podcast. But it sits at the core of how modern economies function. If you had to leave students with one message, what would that be?
My first message is that don't judge the industry with the stereotypes attached to it. And I have already mentioned those stereotypes that, okay, insurance means that someone will be selling a policy door to door, or, an industry where you will have to deal with a lot of paperwork, the growth is limited, or the innovation is limited. But these are all myths. So don't rely on stereotypes. Don't judge the industry with these notions, preconceived notions or stereotypes. Find out more about the industry. So I have shared with you the kind of roles which are emerging in the sector, and the way new and emerging risks are coming up. The relevance for insurance is going to increase further. So my advice and in fact request to all those who are pursuing their management course is that look at the sector not in a very, very narrow view, with a very, very narrow view, the way it is looked at the moment, but find out more about it. And very often, if a career is ignored by many. It's not probably that there is not much growth. It is only because people don't know much about it. So, so my advice is that go out there, use this inflection point, because the industry is now seeing the 100% foreign direct investments. A lot of new jobs are being created. Many foreign players are coming up. So this is the right time. Get into the sector. Use your core skill. Add insurance to it to create that intersection of 2 or 3 skills, and create a niche for you in the industry.
Well, sir, because like as sir mentioned, a little knowledge is dangerous. All of us know that get more knowledge. And I would also request all of you to not only listen to this podcast, but also yourself, but also show this to your parents, because in the starting we said, parents always think about, don't go in insurance because you will have to go and sell policy door to door. There are many other things, like sir was saying. We have many innovative solutions available, and you have so many industries where you can use the insurance skills and knowledge and apply it with it. So actually, sky is limitless. I won't even say sky is the limit. Your sky would be limitless. You have to, make your own canvas. So with this, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
And for being with us and finding time from your very busy schedule.
Thank you.
And I'm
Thank you.
sure this will definitely help students to pursue their career in insurance industry. Thank you.
Thank you.